desafiou um treinamento de técnica. Parabéns! Domine todas as técnicas de corrida para garantir a vitória.
Got NYC on my knuckles. The comeback kid, know the hustle. Live my whole life in the struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz, I got a couple. This goes out to the 631, to the 516 and all the bad shits. This goes out to the 718, to the 212 and the Young King crew. Rope 3 miles high, make a wrong move and you won't survive. Got 5 jobs just to get by. Got a game like a do or die. Got NYC on my knuckles. The comeback kid, know the hustle. Live my whole life in the struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz, I got a couple. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 6 631 to the 516 and all the bad chicks. the 212 and the Young King crew.
Like a star, you were made to shine. In the dark, you could be the light. Let your heart keep burning bright. You were made to shine. Like a star, you were made to shine. In the dark, you could be the light. Let your heart keep burning bright.
Inside, got pictures but you're afraid to try. In your head you hear them cheer. Time to break out and face the fear. I know you got that passion. Giving up ain't your fashion. Take a chance, make it happen. We all wanna see some action. This goes out to the 631, to the 516 and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 718, to the 212 and the Young King crew.
Made to shine. In the dark, you could be the light. Let your heart keep burning
Brighter than a constellation. You were born for greatness. You're a star. Yeah, you're a star. You're a star. Yeah, you're a star.
like a star, you were made to shine. In the dark, you could be the light. Let your heart keep burning bright. Made to shine. Like a star, you were made to shine. In the dark, you could be the light. Let your heart keep burning bright.
I wanna thank you just to drag you down to this level, down to this level. I wanna thank you.
Tight rope 3 miles high. Make a wrong move and you won't survive. Got 5 jobs just to get by. Gotta play the game.
I wanna thank you just to drag you down to this level, down to this level.
O boost WTW envolve o uso de nitro entre um double boost e serve para situações em que você recebe um nitro num drift. A aceleração é menor do que a do boost CWW, mas a duração é maior. Vejamos agora as etapas detalhadas. Pressione o botão para a direita e mantenha o botão de drift pressionado para começar o drift. Faça o drift no local adequado e comece a ajustar a frente do carro. Pressione o botão para a esquerda e mantenha o botão de drift pressionado. Toque no botão de mini boost quando ele brilhar. Ao obter um nitro, pressione o botão do nitro e deslize o dedo para o botão de mini boost para acionar um boost WCW.
survive. Got 5 jobs just to get by. Gotta play the game like it's do or die. Got NYC on my knuckles. The comeback kid, know the hustle. Live my whole life in a struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz, I got a couple. a star.
Like a star, you need to shine. In the dark, you could be the light.
I wanna thank you. Just a dragon.
Tight rope 3 miles high. Make a wrong move and you won't survive. Got 5 jobs just to get by. Gotta play the game like it's do or die. Got NYC on my knuckles. The comeback kid, know the hustle. Live my whole life in a struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz? I got a couple. This goes out to the 631, to the 516, and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 718, to the 212, and the young kids. or die. Got NYC on my knuckles. The comeback kid, know the hustle. Live my whole life in the struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz? I got a couple. This goes out to the 631, to the 516, and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 718, to the 212, and the young kids. Live my whole life in a struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz, I got a couple. This goes out to the 631, to the 516, and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 718, to the 212, and the young kid crew. Brighter than a constellation. You were survive. Got 5 jobs just to get by. Gotta play the game like it's do or die. Got NYC on my knuckles. The comeback kid know the hustle. Live my whole life in a struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz, I got a couple. This goes out to the 631, to the 516, and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 718, to the 212, and the young kid crew.
pit road will be open. The dashboard, it tells drivers like Billy Boat everything they need to know about the performance of their Conseco car. Also, on the driver's helmet, a series of plastic tearaways. Why? Well, you're in an open cockpit car, and at 220 miles an hour, it can get a little dirty out there. But Billy Boat, you come from a dirt track background, and you're kind of used to the tearaways, you're kind of used to the dirt and the grime. Are you used to the speed?
Yeah, I think so. You know, after running 500 miles here last year, it gave me a lot of experience. You know, I think we'll be able to take the Conseco car home all day today.
A lot of people have watched the performance not only of A.J. Foyt's team, but the relationship that has developed between you and A.J.
Yeah, you know, we come from similar backgrounds. We can talk about similar things. We talk the same language, so that's really helped as far as getting the car set up, and we're really just becoming friends.
What did Big Tex tell you about this race, specifically about the start and starting where you are on the Kim?
I just said bring it down smooth, you know, to try to get through the first corner. It's a long day. We got to be there at the end.
You know, last year when you made the start in the Indy 500, there was a lot of delays. We went actually literally 3 days before we got the race going. Now that you're taking a look at this delay, does it affect you at all? You just sat here in the car and kind of dialed yourself out from things.
You know, I'm just trying to stay focused, and you know, rain delays, or I think whenever you run a dirt track on a Saturday night, you get used to rain delays. That's part of it. So, you know, you just got to be ready to jump in and go.
Well, Jerry, he will bring the field down for the 82nd running of the Indy 500.
And Jack, the final guy in the final row outside of row 11 will be 41-year-old Billy Rowe. How appropriate, the last row for Billy Rowe. And he's not tight at all. He's been laughing and joking, talking to some of the crew members here, making his second start. And Billy, I got to ask you here, this race, a lot of responsibility, you being the last guy in the last row. Anything that's going to happen is going to happen in front of you when they start.
Oh, that's for sure. It's a good thing to be back there. I was supposed to start up next to Ari according to the speeds, but we're going to put the Napa Auto Parts car. We're starting here 33rd. We're just going to hang back for a couple laps and see what happens. And I'm just looking forward to see what kind of a race car we had so we can just start moving our way through the field.
All those years as a mechanic, you spent years with Emerson Fittipaldi and a number of different drivers here as a mechanic working on these cars. Does that help you driving the race car?
Oh, definitely, because I understand, you know, how the shock works, how wing works, and how the tunnels work, and it just makes it real easy to communicate with the guys, and I know exactly what they're talking about when they want to make a change here, and it's really been a benefit.
I'm told you're supposed to be real tense and have your heart pounding and throbbing right now. You're laughing, joking, having a good time. You really enjoy being a part of this festival.
I sure do. Yeah, it's amazing. We're starting 33rd. It's my 33rd Indy 500 with car number 33, so I'm looking for a good race, you know, with the ProLink Special, and I just want to thank everybody for, you know, helping us get here, and Team Manitech for giving me all the wonderful stuff, make me feel good about it. And I'm just looking forward to a good race.
Billy, good luck to you. Billy Rowe starting 33rd. Let's check in with Gary Gerald.
Gary, we're up here at the very head of the grid, and the excitement continues to build, and you're looking at the magnificent Chevrolet Corvette pace car. And why am I excited? Because I'm going to get to ride in one of these 5 cars up here at the head of the field on the parade lap. And what better chauffeur to have than astronaut David Wolf, who's from Indianapolis, born, raised here. You've been around 500s for, what, 30 years?
That's right, Gary. This will be 30 in a row, and I can't wait. It's the greatest spectacle in racing.
Tell me what we can expect now on our lap here, parading around this magnificent speed palace.
That's right. We're going to lead 33 of the finest cars in the world, the greatest machines rivaling the space shuttle, around their parade lap. And then they'll do another couple laps with the real pace car that'll come out in the case that's necessary during the race. And the race will be on. That first lap is something else.
What is this like in comparison?
Charging Scott Goodyear.
Well, Hamilton in the orange car and Goodyear in the yellow car. Both G-forces, Paul, and they're working on each other right now.
And of course, the 3 cars in the field, the G-Force, the Dallara, and the Riley Scott. The real question is between Dallara and the G-Force. What about Kenny Breck, Jack? He dropped back.
Well, Paul, don't forget, this is the first time he's actually started an Indy 500, although he was in the field last year and crashed during the pace lap. Coming up through the gearbox, Kenny Breck missed a gear, and that's how far back he dropped. They say now he's working his way back to the front.
Looking at the front 3. Pope, Ray, Stewart. Battle continues between Hamilton and Goodyear. On board with Stewart, the 3rd place car.
Well, Tony's just feeling his way along here. He's real happy with his car after carburation day and using his head early.
Stewart falls back a bit. Still on the chase. Robbie Buell has fallen a little further back from his teammate Stewart. Buell sitting in fourth. Crowd still on its feet. Pole sitter Billy Boat, the Conseco car, thunders into the first turn across the south tube. Already he's in turn 2.
The weather conditions today, Paul, were quite a bit different than they were in carburation day and qualifying day, so some of these guys might have been surprised. I mean, the air's got the mentality of a sumo wrestler right now. It's pretty heavy.
Lap 9 is complete. And Billy Boat continues to lead this field. Greg Ray, you see him, is 0.3 of a second back.
Paul, you're talking about the air. I talked to several of the engineers. They said the density of the air will produce less horsepower. Therefore, some of the downforce that you put in these cars, you actually can dial out. You'll have to watch for that during the first pit stop. But the dense air means less horsepower, so it means it's going to be a little tougher to make speed. Tony Stewart and Robbie Buell have already compensated for that by going into 5th gear, and that is their passing gear rather than 6th gear of the overdrive.
And so we're expecting to see other aerodynamic changes when they come in for the first stop in the pits area. And right now, Raul Boesel, you heard his travail. He's been in trouble since before the start of this race. He's climbed out of the car, his helmet off, and done his performance drivers with Jerry Punch.
Raul, right here. Your day had trouble before you ever rolled off. We noticed you began with a radio problem.
To start, I thought I had a problem with probably fuel pump or something. So this one of the shortest days I have in racing, probably.
Oh, the sputtering will not run at all until he shut off.
No, and I put the throttle on, and, the fuel pressure just dropped, and the car misfired.
Another tough break here at Indianapolis for the Brazilian, Raul Boesel.
Yeah, Jerry, he's had 10 starts, and this is the 5th time he has failed to finish the 500 miles. It tightens up back at the front. The tightest battle remains this one, that fluorescent car of Davey Hamilton, the Reebok car, and the Pennzoil car right behind him. Back in the field. Remember, he started 28th, Ari Luyendyk. You ride on board with Ari right now. He's moved up 4 positions.
Well, I saw his hand in the middle of that corner, Paul, on the in-car. His hand was quite a ways over to the right hand was quite a bit to the left, indicating he might have a little bit of understeer in that car right now.
Field is playing it very conservative in these early moments of the Indianapolis 500. You ride with Ari Luyendyk. We'll stay right here.
See those speeds. Again, they qualified quite a bit faster than that.
Back at the front of the field, Greg Ray makes a move and takes the lead of the Indianapolis 500. Greg Ray comes around Boat now. Is Boat in trouble? He gets high on the corner. Tony Stewart tries to take advantage of it. Buell is closing in. So is Hamilton.
Well, sometimes when you get past, you got to roll out of the throttle, let the guy go, and that gives the second, third. And there goes Buell behind Tony.
Robbie Buell comes around Tony Stewart. So at first we thought it was Boat in trouble, then we thought, well, Stewart's going to get him. Now Stewart is passed by his own teammate. And first through 6, they're running right together.
Again, Tony, it's a 500-mile race. Tony obviously was expecting probably to go a little bit farther forward quicker, but Robbie Buell took advantage of a situation and put the number on his teammate.
So with his move and the cross of the line, Greg Ray becomes the 163rd different driver to lead the Indianapolis 500 since 1911. Buzz Calkins has moved from 18th to 12th. We'll return with more of our coverage of the Indianapolis 500 after this message and a word from our ABC station. Back at Indianapolis, they stuttered on the start, and Billy Boat surged into the lead. Look there. There is Kenny Brick making a move on Robbie Buell, and you will note that Billy Boat is just ahead of him. So the two teammates battle. While we were away, Tony Stewart was able to get around Boat and into second place behind Greg Ray. Now look at this fight, all lined up for second.
Well, Billy's having some kind of handling problem. He's not as quick as these guys, but he's got them all jacked up behind him. There goes Brett by on the inside, entering free.
A.J. Foyt keeping track of his team. They run right together. But obviously something wrong with Billy Boat.
And Paul, what's wrong with Billy Boat is the weight jacker inside the car. He's adjusted it, Tom Steva, as far as it can go. They do not like the balance in the car. So what they've begun to do is take a look at all the tires that they've got lined up here behind pit road, try and choose a set that'll give them a little bit better balance. They've been moving those sets back and forth up along the wall here, trying to decide which ones will go on during the first stop.
Scott Goodyear took a look at Robbie Buell for a moment there on the main stretch, but he couldn't get it done. He's going to take a look again, see if he can get past Robbie Buell. And once again, Buell sweeps into the corner well above the line, but at the same time keeps Scott Goodyear behind him in this ongoing battle now for 5th place. Here's Tony Stewart as he comes up on the leader, and Tony Stewart makes a great move.
Catches him a little bit in traffic. Greg Ray was a little more conservative when he ran up in that slower traffic, and Tony just blasted by.
Boy, what funny performance out of Tony Stewart.
And Paul, Tony Stewart is doing that with a car that's got a severe understeer in the car. So watch Tom Steva. He'll probably compensate for it as he goes through the corners.
Yeah, because he has been so inconsistent, and that's the indication of an ill-handling car.
Well, he actually hasn't been that inconsistent, Paul, but it obviously has some understeer. I didn't notice that on the in-car. We'll watch it as it goes down into the corner. We can see this paw-looking thing in the left front. We got a yellow, Paul. We got a yellow.
Had trouble on the front straightaway, and it's in fact Stewart. Stewart's engine let go.
Unbelievable.
Well,
leading the race, no warning, gone.
And look at the anger in the cockpit. Stewart, fortunately, able to drive it to a stop without causing trouble for anybody. No one got against the wall, including Stewart.
It looked like that steering wheel must have been a little slippery the way it slipped out of his hands, Paul.
Well, Tony Stewart was furious. He threw the steering wheel, still connected to the two-way radio, out of the front of the car, flings down his gloves in anger. Remember, they had concerns about these engines going to qualifying. They had engine trouble. They finally made a decision to back out of their qualifying engines and use one that was detuned a little bit. But in doing that, they said that they were assuring that the race would run well for Team Menard. Now, one half of the team is gone. Tony Stewart waves to his fans.
Sort of an unusual place to pull a thing to a stop. He's down in the groove and he pulls it to the outside. Don't understand that. Maybe we can get some more information on why he stopped it in that position with the blown motor.
I don't think I've ever seen a car pull up high on the track. Seen a lot of them go low, and of course part of that has to be a product of the positioning on the track when he turned into the corner, and the fact that maybe those rear tires did have oil on them, and the car just decided it was going to go up there and park itself. It's only just good enough to get it stopped before it parked itself against the wall.
Well, pretty frustrated Tony Stewart right now. Just unbelievable. He's shaking his head. He can't understand what could have happened. But like we talked about, they were concerned about their qualifying motors. They were happy with the race motors, but they're not real happy right now.
You saw the X on the flag moments ago that tells you that the pits are still closed. There it is again. The sign is no pit. But as the field comes around, we expect stops, Jack.
Let's talk to Larry Curry. Did Tony tell you anything?
No, we had no warning. We was sitting there running the race that we wanted to run. We wanted to sit and run in traffic. He knew what he had. He said, I know enough about this now. He went up, set him up in traffic, took the lead, and then all of a sudden, bang. So no warning on telemetry, nothing.
A litany of engine problems for this team throughout the year, throughout the month. You thought it was limited to your qualifying effort. Now what do you think?
Yeah, well, we got another car over here in the race with Robbie Buell. So we're going to be nervous for a lot more laps now.
Gary Gerould.
Jack, we're waiting along with Greg Ray's team. He has taken the lead for the first time in the Indy 500. They await him on pit road, and here he is, number 97. The crew was telling each other, be calm, be efficient now. Let's see what their first test looks like today if they pass with flying colors. They're very deliberate on the front wheels. Very deliberate. They're under the yellow, of course, which helps them now off the jacks, but that's about a 17-second stop, not blistering fast, but they did get everything done efficiently. A quick note on Buddy Lazier. The yellow came about 3 laps too late. He had a major handling problem, so bad, in fact, that they called him to the pits for a new set of tires and a wing change. Jerry?
And a major problem for Jeff Ward, who had come from 27th to 13th spot in just 22 laps. They had a routine pit stop, but as he's leaving pit road, he turned out, and in returning Stefan Gregoire, and suddenly the right front wing has been clipped off the car number 35. What a tough set of Tabasco driver after a great run here at the beginning. Let's go back to Jackaroo.
Well, Jerry Bunch, A.J. Foyt is livid. The pit stop by Billy Boat was an abomination. What happened is they came in, made the change of 4 tires, adjusted on the wing. A.J. Foyt said on the radio, go, 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 and was overruled by one of the crew members. Billy, concerned, didn't know what to do. He waited, paused for 3 seconds, and it was a costly 3 seconds.
Well, discipline and precision are what you want in a pit stop at Indianapolis as we continue to watch the work on Jeff Ward's car. But A.J. Foyt's team and A.J.'s guys certainly did not have that. Here's what got the Jeff Ward car into trouble.
Again, he got the signal from the pit guy to leave, but he didn't catch in the mirror. He didn't catch Gregoire coming into his pit stop, and contact was made.
So, in regard to the Team Menard guys, there's only one left. In regards to AJ's boys, some confusion on the stop, but they're still very much in the fight with Kenny Breck, who started outside the front row in second place behind the pace car. Greg Ray is the leader of the race. He inherited that position when Tony Stewart's engine blew on the front stretch, and that brought out this yellow. Now, we're going to go back and take a look at that situation when Stewart's engine let go, and we're just going to listen to it. Boy, the worst sound you can hear, and then silence.
Well, the silence came pretty quick. It mixed it up a little bit. You can see the smoke coming out of the back of it, so he's done for the day.
So the rest of the field gathered up behind the Chevrolet Corvette pace car now. And there's Tony Stewart. He had to put his helmet on so they could tow the car back to the inside of the track. That's one of the rules. When they come past this time, 24 laps complete, we will be ready to go back to the green flag once again. Actually, that pit stop came at a very opportune time.
Well, it did for some of them. Obviously, it didn't for Lazier, but we saw Ray had a very conservative pit stop. It was a little bit longer than some, but it's really an advantage when you come in first. You don't have to be the quickest in the pits, but you can still get out leading the race.
Jackaroo.
Well, you can see Tony Stewart with his back turned to the pit area. The disappointment you can see on his face. No warning.
Man, I wouldn't even run the car hard. I mean, if I was pushing it, I can understand it maybe, but just out there kind of riding around, trying to take it easy.
The emotions right now for Tony Stewart. Describe them.
Well, I mean, this is the only thing I've ever wanted to do in my life. This has been my #1 goal, and every year I get shit on doing it. So, I mean, how would you feel?
Paul?
And there, of course, in many ways is the dream of Tony George and the Pep Boys Indy Racing League to bring guys like Tony Stewart to this, the greatest spectacle in racing. Ari Lyondike comes in.
It sounded like a smelly ending for Tony's day.
Yeah, but it will only serve to stoke his fires, I suspect. Lyondike into the pits. And obviously,
having trouble
not
getting it in gear.
There's some trouble there. The car stalls. They bring it back.
It feels like some kind of clutch problem. He was trying to get it again, couldn't find it. When it did pop in, it just stopped the motor.
And now they try to get it rolling again. And in fact, this time,
he's pumping the throttle,
and he can't get it going again. So Ari Lyondike, the defending champion, is in trouble. His month of May has been nothing but trouble. That means that Greg Ray, Kenny Breck, Davey Hamilton, and Scott Goodyear will be the top 4 as we're ready to come back to the green flag. Jackaroo?
Well, they've taken on to off-board starter. You can hear the noises now as the motor's refired. He tries to find a gear.
flag comes out. We run again at Indianapolis.
A lot of mixing up. Look at the back of the field there, Paul. A lot of mixing it up. People are looking for places to go around.
The car that actually was in front as they came down the straightaway is Buddy Lazier. He's still in front, but he is a lap behind the run. Second car in that line is Ray. Scott Goodyear suddenly into the pit. And this doesn't look good either because they immediately went to their pockets for the tools to pull the cowling.
A lot of top contenders having serious problems early in this race.
Jack Arujis reports first gear. Gone. The problem with Ari Lyondike. Buddy Lazier, despite the fact he's a lap down, looking strong, sitting in front of the leader. Then the leader got him coming off the corner. Or it doesn't happen yet. He will get them, I would assume, off of this corner. Except Lazier seems to be running at a race pace.
Well, the problem with Scott Goodyear seems to be a faulty clutch. If you watch Scott Goodyear in the box, and they're going to have to take a look at it, the crew working towards the rear. If it's a faulty clutch, it could be an early day for Scott Goodyear.
Well, Ari Lyondike and then Buddy Lazier. So two former winners, the only two in the race, are running in front of the actual leader of the race, Greg Ray.
Well, Lyondike had the trouble in the pits. He got out just in front of the leaders. The question is, can he hold off Ray until we have a yellow to give him that opportunity to get that lap back?
Yeah, there's the real key. Both of them are trying to keep from being passed and lapped, and Ari Lyondike, of course, is trying to stay on the leader lap. Greg Ray, the third car in the line, that red helmet. Looking back in the line, Robbie Buell. He's that blue car.
And all the report on Robbie Buell is he likes the way his car is handling in the corner. He does not like the way the car is speeding down the straightaways. He said, I can run with the leaders in the turns, but they eat my lunch down the straightaway.
So Robbie Buell.
Vagabundo, sequestro, Rio de Janeiro é um péssimo negócio. Então solta a vítima em cima.
And the race has won more poles and IndyCar. Keep an eye as well on Scott Dixon. Not only is he a five-time champion, he's a five-time winner at this racetrack and is still within range in the championship. Will Power in the silver Verizon car on the inside. He dictates the start. The blue and yellow Napa car is Alexander Rossi. The blue and white in row 2 is Joseph Newgarden. And that bright yellow Menards car is Simon Pagenaud. Here we go! Time to go in the championship. Power gets the early jump. Rossi tucks in behind, thinks to the outside. Now Newgarden is going to make a play for second. Pagenaud lingering back there. Right around the outside. There's Felix Rosenqvist trying to get around Pagenaud.
That black and green car, Rosenqvist went big, but there's trouble further back. That's James Hinchcliffe, who's off in the grass, and they're all going to get checked up as he rejoins from the back.
And his teammate has an issue. They got together with somebody there, but Will Power made a perfect start. Rossi slid into position, and he's working on it.
Most importantly for Rossi, he's ahead of that blue and white car of Joseph Newgarden, and Sato now is off in the beach.
I saw Dixon getting by his teammate Felix Rosenqvist, let him go by. Sato gets out of the gravel, no yellow.
These guys have 200 seconds of push to pass to use during the race. And this adds close to 50 horsepower on the straights or at any point on the track. And there you see seconds remaining. The guy that's been most liberal with the use in the top 6 there is Rosenqvist. He's already used 17 seconds. Meanwhile, Newgarden hasn't touched it once.
Power got the jump into corner number 1. We all wondered, how would everyone approach that? Safe to say, Power has nothing to lose. He's not thinking championship. Wins all that matter. Rossi, Newgarden, Pagenaud think championship. How much do you think they wanted to test him into that first turn?
Well, I think it was huge for Power to get through turn 1 cleanly without any pressure. He did a brilliant job, kind of jumping the start, timed it perfectly. Now he can settle in and do what he did yesterday to qualify on pole, which is just lay down.
Here are your tires, +7, good work.
Faster laps than anybody. As you hear Roger Penske come on the radio and remind him, just take care of the tires. Nice and calm is what I would be doing to coach Power today.
He really wants to get him by the time they get to turn 4, but he may be too far back.
Bourdais spun up in the keyhole, continues. Wonder if he had help or if that was on his own.
Let's look at it again as it stays green.
Definitely got help.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky it didn't take Colton Hurst's front wing off because they made contact across the front wing and it sent Bourdais around at a 360 and kept going.
Three-stop strategy requires hot pace, full push. They need to get by, and Newgarden's got trouble now from his teammate. What will Pagenaud do?
And how much of a fight will Hendrick put up? He will let Newgarden go by. A little tougher for Pagenaud, but he's also clean.
Late move from Pagenaud, but Kanaan saw it coming and wisely left the door open to avoid the contact, knowing that they're on different strategies.
And here's the pass on the outside. Strong move, Townsend.
This is for the lead. Rosenqvist going to the outside of Will Power. And again, Rosenqvist on the blacks. Power trying to hang on the reds. But don't worry, later in the race, Rosenqvist and Scott Dixon there are going to have to go to that softer red tire and try to make that work.
Watching the background for Scott Dixon, they take a lot of weight out of the corner. And man, it's neck and neck as they leave the pits, and they leave in the same order.
Right behind you, good going.
Remember, Will Power is not as happy with this car on the blacks. Now we have the switch of compound. This is good stuff. And I think he's in the danger zone.
I don't know, though. Rob Edwards, one of the smartest guys on pit lane. I don't think they would have brought Rossi to the pits if they didn't think he could make it. And here comes Scott Dixon.
Here we go.
Oh, that was close.
Wheels.
He stays on the rear wing as long as he can to try to draft. Power will not let him by this time. And now he'll do the switchback and try to go around the outside of turn 5. They touch.
This guy's on pit lane. I don't think they would have brought Rossi to the pits if they didn't think he could make it. And here comes Scott Dixon.
Here we go.
Oh, that was close.
He stays on the rear wing as long as he can to try to draft. Power will not let him by this time. And now he'll do the switchback and try to go around the outside of turn 5. They touch. Dixon almost goes off. Power maintains the position.
We had such a perfect shot of this from the helicopter. We ride above with Scott Dixon. He's going to go to the outside. Power's going to run the middle of the track and kind of push him wide. Look at how far Power is off the apex. Dixon does the over-under, comes to the outside. Power now is going to muscle him, elbows out, and pushes him off to the curb.
Big run again. He's got the draft early this time. Will Power, he's protecting right away. Does he have enough speed? Oh, over-under.
The shake and bake.
To the inside, Dixon. This time will make it stick. Dixon picks up the position. Joseph Newgarden is coming towards you, Jan.
Yes, they're well within the window of this three-stop strategy. We're going to watch the blend to see what happens with the two-stoppers like Alexander Rossi. So he goes with the blacks here. He's going on to take quite a bit of the Speedway fuel. He's looking, wait, there's a problem with the fuel. He's looking back. There's not fuel flow for Joseph Newgarden. Oh my goodness, is this a championship slipping away in the pits?
Nice pass by Felix Rosenqvist, Kevin Lee.
Oh, very impressive. Side by side through 2 or 3 corners where you normally can't do that. He got it done.
Rosenqvist tires were about 15 laps pressure. He knew that this was his opportunity to make something happen. Brilliant job racing side by side with one of the fastest drivers in the business.
Nice job. Car in front of you is Kanaan, just came out of the pit.
And push to pass is getting awfully important at this point for Rosenqvist. Only 15 seconds left. Still with 35 laps to go to finish this. He's got a 7-second gap, though, to his teammate and 20 seconds to the next car he really has to worry about with Ryan Hunter-Reay. So they can literally tell him to just chill a second a lap effectively and coast to the finish. But There's a whole lot to play for further back as this battle's getting fierce.
Yeah. The youngest pole winner in IndyCar history. We thought he might contend for the pole, being quick in practice all week. Started 7.
Oh boy,
Rossi drops tires.
Pagenaud now getting even closer. Does he make a move? Does he pop out?
Rossi used push to pass, so did Pagenaud. Pagenaud only 7 seconds left now as Pagenaud wiggles and runs wide. That's going to give Piggott and Herta a real chance on this next lap.
5 laps to go. The lap cars are on the push to pass, trying to get their lap back.
Keep in mind, this is one of the legends in motorsports. Scott Dixon has won 5 championships. Only A.J. Foyt has more. Only Foyt and Mario Andretti have more wins, and looked like he had this one in the bag and wrapped up. Can he hang on? Can he make the tires last? Or will his rookie teammate Felix Rosenqvist win for the first time lap traffic right in front of that green and black car?
2 seconds behind. He's closing at 2 seconds a lap, and there he is on the back of the train.
Dixon's last lap of 1:11. What are you doing, Rosenqvist? Don't hit a car.
Don't throw away that podium.
You got this, Felix. Remember, it's a teammate. Make it clean.
Oh, they're telling him go for it. There's no team orders. What's going to happen? He's right on the back.
That's in the background for Scott Dixon. They take a lot of weight out of the four. And man, it's neck and neck as they leave the pits, and they leave in the same order. Will Power keeps that. Remember, Will Power is not as happy with this car on the blacks. Now we have the switch of compound. This is good stuff.
Andy, I think he's in the danger zone.
I don't know, though. Rob Edwards, one of the smartest guys on pit lane. I don't think they would have brought Rossi to the pits if they didn't think he could make it. And here comes Scott Dixon. Here we go. Oh, that was close.
He stays on the rear wing as long as he can to try to draft. Power will not let him by this time. And now into the switchback and try to go around the outside of turn 5. They touch. Dixon almost goes off. Power maintains the position.
We had such a perfect shot of this from the helicopter. We ride right above with Scott Dixon. He's going to go to the outside. Power's going to run the middle of the track and kind of push him wide. Look at how far Power is off the apex. Dixon does the over-under, comes to the outside. Power now is going to muscle him, elbows out, and pushes him off to the curb.
Big run again. He's got the draft early this time. Will Power, he's protecting right away. Does he have enough speed? Oh, over-under.
The shake and bake.
To the inside, Dixon. This time will make it stick. Dixon picks up the position. Joseph Newgarden is coming towards you, Jan.
Yes, and well within the window of this 3-stop strategy. We're going to watch the blend to see what happens with the 2-stoppers like Alexander Rossi. So he goes with the blacks here. He's going on to take quite a bit of the Speedway fuel. He's looking, wait, there's a problem with the fuel. He's looking back. There's not fuel flow for Joseph Newgarden. Oh my goodness, is this a championship slipping away in the pits?
Nice pass by Felix Rosenqvist, Kevin Lee.
Oh, very impressive. Side by side through 2 or 3 corners where you normally can't do that. You got it done.
Rosenqvist's tires were about 15 laps fresher. He knew that this was his opportunity to make something happen. Brilliant job racing side by side with one of the fastest drivers in the business.
Nice job. Car in front of you is Kanan, just came out of the pits.
And push to pass is getting awfully important at this point for Rosenqvist. Only 15 seconds left. Still with 35 laps to go to finish this. And he's got a 7-second gap, though, to his teammate and 20 seconds to the next car he really has to worry about with Ryan Hunter-Reay. So they can literally tell him to just chill a second a lap effectively and coast to the finish. But there's a whole lot to play for further back as this battle's getting fierce.
Yeah, the youngest pole winner in IndyCar history. We thought he might contend for the pole, being quick in practice all week. Started 7.
Oh boy, Rossi goes off.
Drops tires.
Pagenaud now getting even closer. Does he make a move? Does he pop out?
Rossi used push to pass, so did Pagenaud. Pagenaud only 7 seconds left now as Pagenaud wiggles and
Got 5 jobs just to get by. Gotta play the game like it's do or die. Got NYC on my knuckles. The comeback kid, know the hustle. Live my whole life in a struggle. Now you wanna talk Benz? I got a couple.
And the racing continues today on NBC. We are just moments away from the...
Six and all the bad chicks. This goes out to the 718, to the 212, and the young king crew.
The racing continues today on NBC. We are just moments away from the green flag for round 13 of the NTT IndyCar Series. It's the Honda Indy 200 from Mid-Ohio. Here is the Honda starting lineup. Power on the pole for the 57th time. Only Mario Andretti has won more poles and IndyCar. Keep an eye as well on Scott Dixon. Not only is he a 5-time champion, he's a 5-time winner at this racetrack and is still within range in the championship. Will Power in the silver Verizon car on the inside. He dictates the start. The blue and yellow NASCAR car is Alexander Rossi. The blue and white in row 2 is Joseph Newgart. And that bright yellow Menards car is Simon Pagenaud. Here we go!
Crank.
The championship. Power gets the early jump. Rossi tucks in behind, thinks to the outside. Now Newgarden is going to make a play for second. Pagano lingering back there. Right around the outside, there's Felix Rosenqvist trying to get around Pagano.
That black and green car, Rosenqvist went big, but there's trouble further back. That's James Hinchcliffe, who's off in the grass, and they're all going to get checked up as he rejoins from the back.
And his teammate has an issue. They got together with somebody there, but Will Power made a perfect start. Rossi slid into position, and he's working on it.
Most importantly for Rossi, he's ahead of that blue and white car of Joseph Newgarden, and Sato now is off in the beach.
I saw Dixon getting by his teammate Felix Rosenqvist, let him go by. Sato gets out of the gravel, no yellow.
These guys have 200 seconds of push to pass to use during the race, and this adds close to 50 horsepower on the straights or at any point on the track. And there you see seconds remaining. The guy that's been most liberal with the use in the top 6 there is Rosenqvist. He's already used 17 seconds. Meanwhile, Newgarden hasn't touched it once.
Power got the jump into corner number 1. We all wondered, how would everyone approach that? Safe to say, Power has nothing to lose. He's not thinking championship. Wins all that matter. Rossi, Newgarden, Pagano think the championship. How much do you think they wanted to test him into that first turn?
Well, I think it was huge for Power to get through turn 1 cleanly without any pressure. He did a brilliant job, kind of jumping the start, timed it perfectly. Now he can settle in and do what he did yesterday to qualify on pole, which is just lay down.
Interior tires, +7, good work.
Faster laps than anybody. As you hear Roger Penske come on the radio and remind him, just take care of the tires. Nice and calm is what I would be doing to coach Power today.
He really wants to get him by the time they get to turn 4, but he may be too far back.
Bourdais spun up in the keyhole, continues. Wonder if he had help or if that was on his own.
Let's look at it again as it stays green.
Definitely got help.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky it didn't take Colton Hurst's front wing off because they made contact across the front wing and it sent Bourdais around, did a 360 and kept going.
Three-stop strategy requires hot pace, full push. They need to get by, and Newgarden's got trouble now from his teammate. What will Pagano do?
And how much of a fight will Hendrick put up? He will let Newgarden go by. A little tougher for Pagano, but he's also clean.
Late move from Pagano, but Kanaan saw it coming and wisely left the door open to avoid the contact, knowing that they're on different strategies.
And here's the pass on the outside. Strong move, Townsend.
This is for the lead. Rosenqvist going to the outside of Will Power. And again, Rosenqvist on the blacks. Power trying to hang on the reds. But don't worry, later in the race, Rosenqvist and Scott Dixon there are going to have to go to that softer red tire and try to make that work.
Watching the background for Scott Dixon, they take a lot of wings out of the board. And man, it's neck and neck as they leave the pits, and they leave in the same order. Will Power keeps that. Remember, Will Power is not as happy with his car on the blacks. Now we have the switch of compounds. This is good stuff.
And I think he's in the danger zone.
I don't know, though. Rob Edwards, one of the smartest guys on pit lane. I don't think they would have brought Rossi to the pits if they didn't think he could make it. And here comes Scott Dixon.
Here we go.
Oh, that was close.
He stays on the rear wing as long as he can to try to draft. Power will not let him by this time. And now into the switchback and try to go around the outside of turn 5. They touch. Dixon almost goes off. Power maintains the position.
We had such a perfect shot of this from the helicopter. We ride above with Scott Dixon. He's going to go to the outside. Power's going to run the middle of the track and kind of push him. Look how far Power is off the apex. Dixon does the over-under, comes to the outside. Power now is going to muscle him, elbows out, and pushes him off to the curb.
Big run again. He's got the draft early this time. Will Power, he's protecting right away. Does he have enough speed? Oh, over under.
The shaking pace.
To the inside. Dixon. This time will make it stick. Dixon picks up the position. Joseph Newgarden is coming towards you, Jan.
Yes, and well within the window of this three-stop strategy. We're going to watch the blend to see what happens with the two-stoppers like Alexander Rossi. So he goes with the blacks here. He's going to take quite a bit of the Speedway fuel. He's looking, wait, there's a problem with the fuel. He's looking back. There's not fuel flow for Joseph Newgarden. Oh my goodness, is this a championship slipping away in the pits?
Nice pass by Felix Rosenqvist, Kevin Lee.
Oh, very impressive. Side by side through 2 or 3 corners where you normally can't do that. He got it done.
Rosenquist's tires were about 15 laps fresher. He knew that this was his opportunity to make something happen. Brilliant job racing side by side with one of the fastest drivers in the business.
Nice job. Car in front of you is Kanan, just came out of the pits.
And push to pass is getting awfully important at this point for Rosenquist. Only 15 seconds left, still with 35 laps to go to finish it. And he's got a 7-second gap, though, to his teammate, and 20 seconds to the next car he really has to worry about with Ryan Hunter-Reay. So they could literally tell him to just chill a second a lap effectively and coast to the finish. But there's a whole lot to play for further back as this battle's getting fierce.
Yeah, the youngest pole winner in IndyCar history. We thought he might contend for the pole, being quick in practice all week. Started 7th.
Oh,
boy,
Rossi goes off.
drops tires.
Pagenaud now getting even closer. Does he make a move? Does he pop out?
Rossi used push to pass, so did Pagenaud. Pagenaud only 7 seconds left now as Pagenaud wiggles and runs wide. That's going to give Piggott and Herta a real chance on this next lap.
5 laps to go. The lap cars are on the push to pass, trying to get their lap back.
Keep in mind, this is one of the legends in motorsports. Scott Dixon has won 5 championships. Only A.J. Foyt has more. Only Foyt and Mario Andretti have more wins. It looked like he had this one in the bag and wrapped up. Can he hang on? Can he make the tires last? Or will his rookie teammate Felix Rosenquist win for the first time lap traffic right in front of that green and black car?
2 seconds behind. He's closing at 2 seconds a lap, and there he is on the back of the train.
Dixon's last lap of 1:11. What are you doing, Rosenquist? Don't hit a car. Don't. Gonna give Piggott a whole lot to play for further back as this battle's getting fierce.
Yeah, the youngest pole winner in IndyCar history. We thought he might contend for the pole, being quick in practice all week. Started 7th.
Oh, boy, Rossi goes off.
Drops tires.
Pagenaud now getting even closer. Does he make a move? Does he pop out?
Rossi used push to pass, so did Pagenaud. Pagenaud only 7 seconds left now as Pagenaud wiggles and runs wide. That's going to give Piggott and Herta a real chance on this next lap.
5 laps to go. The lap cars are on the push to pass, trying to get their lap back.
Keep in mind, this is one of the legends in motorsports. Scott Dixon has won 5 championships. Only A.J. Foyt has more. Only Foyt and Mario Andretti have more wins. It looked like he had this one in the bag and wrapped up. Can he hang on? Can he make the tires last? Or will his rookie teammate Felix Rosenquist win for the first time lap traffic right in front of that green and black car?
2 seconds behind. He's closing at 2 seconds a lap, and there he is on the back of the train.
Dixon's last lap of 1:11. What are you doing, Rosenquist? Don't hit a car.
Don't throw away that podium.
You got this, Felix. Remember, it's your teammate. Make it clean.
Oh, they're telling him go for it. There's no team orders. What's going to happen? He's right on the back bumper of Dixon now.
No push to pass for Rosenquist. Dixon has 4 seconds. This is 1 lap to go.
I love it. Ganassi is letting the drivers fight it out amongst themselves. Who's the best? Who's going to get it done? The master, the 45-time winner and 5-time champion, Scott Dixon, trying to defend from his rookie teammate. They come together in the keyhole, nearly touch.
Oh, and Newgarden and Hunter-Reay get together. Oh, no. Newgarden's off. That is a huge championship implication.
That's the championship leader around, and the rest of the crowd will pick up massive points in the title fight with 4 to go after today.
And Dixon could hold off Rosenquist. This allows Dixon to close in the championship massively, but does Rosenquist get Dixon right here?
He'll look around the inside, now trying to swing to the outside. The teammates are side by side. One going for win number 46, the other for number 1 in IndyCar. Dixon is still in front.
I think Dixon has it.
He's out of tires, but I don't think he can handle it.
3 more turns to go. Championship points at stake.
Last
and wins at stake. Felix Rosenquist has a couple of more corners. His veteran teammate, Scott Dixon, trying to hold him up. One more time. Final corner. Dixon wiggles to the line. Rosenquist on his gearbox dives into the side.
Well done there, Scott.
Scott Dixon will win. One of the closest fastest road course races we've seen for the 46th time and the 6th time here at Mid-Ohio. Scott Dixon has done it. What a finish. And Chip Ganassi Racing let their drivers go after it, and they did.
And the crowd loves it. Everybody on their feet waving. But look at this, guys. I don't know why Newgarden did this when he had Rossi behind him. He's got Hunter Ray has already protected the inside. He's making him go on the outside.
I mean, I don't know what Rosenquist was thinking either. That was a bold move on the curb. And then Newgarden just gets really aggressive with Hunter Ray.
A real desperate move for no reason.
Let's watch this. Oh, this will be a great view. He didn't try to do the cross-up, the over-under.
Yeah, just broke the front wheel. He saw the wheel was stopped. And then he just can't believe it.
Man, how tough was that? It doesn't look like there's hardly anything left of these tires.
Oh man, that was crazy. I feel a little bit bad with Felix. You know, I put some moves on him for sure there, but we were just a sitting duck. I had nothing else I could do. You know, I think if I let one by, I was going to let the whole lot by. So I'll say sorry to him right now. I'm sure I'll see him in a minute. But I think we went too aggressive on the second set of revs, got way too loose. Was our U set as well, but they held in there. All that counts is we got the win, but huge credit to the PNC crew. They did a phenomenal job strategy-wise and just making the car a bit better for the race.
What's it like racing your teammate there? He's going after his first win. You're trying to just nurse it around the racetrack. How tough is that just to balance that aggression?
Yeah, it's so hard, you know, and you know, if I wasn't his teammate, I think he would have, you know, had me off. So a lot of respect there, and you know, Felix is going to have a ton of wins. You know, this may help for our race for the championship. I think, you know, it looked like the others had a bit of a rough race out there today. So here's what it is, man. But just proud of the team and proud that we finally got that done. It was a tough race, a really tough race to hang on. Those tires were shot with about 15 to go. I thought we were going to have to pit again.
A great effort for sure. Well-deserved victory. Scott Dixon wins at Mid-Ohio. Hey, Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports. racing continues today on NBC. We are just moments away from the green flag for round 13 of the NTT IndyCar Series. It's the Honda Indy 200 from Mid-Ohio. Here is the Honda starting lineup. Power on the pole for the 57th time. Only Mario Andretti has won more poles in IndyCar. Keep an eye as well on Scott Dixon. Not only is he a 5-time champion, he's a 5-time winner at this racetrack and is still within range in the championship. Will Power in the silver Verizon car on the inside. He dictates the start. The blue and yellow Napa car is Alexander Rossi. The blue and white in row 2 is Joseph Dugart. And that bright yellow Menards car is Simon Pagenaud. Here we go! The championship. Power gets the early jump. Rossi tucks in behind, fixed to the outside. Now Newgarden is going to make a play for second. Pagenaud lingering back there, right around the outside. There's Felix Rosenqvist trying to get around Pagenaud.
That black and green car,
Five-time champion from Mid-Ohio. Here is the Honda starting lineup. Power on the pole for the 57th time. Only Mario Andretti has won more poles in IndyCar. Keep an eye as well on Scott Dixon. Not only is he a 5-time champion, he's a 5-time winner at this racetrack and is still within range in the championship. Will Power in the silver Verizon car on the inside. He dictates the start. The blue and yellow Napa car is Alexander Rossi. The blue and white in row 2 is Joseph Dugart. And that bright yellow Menards car is Simon Pagenaud. Here we go! The championship. Power gets the early jump. Rossi tucks in behind, fixed to the outside. Now Newgarden is going to make a play for second. Pagenaud lingering back there, right around the outside. There's Felix Rosenqvist trying to get around Pagenaud.
That black and green car, Rosenqvist went big, but there's trouble further back. That's James Hinchcliffe, who's off in the grass, and they're all going to get checked up as he rejoins from the back.
And his teammate has an issue. They got together with somebody there, but Will Power made a perfect start. Rossi slid into position, and he's working on it.
Most importantly for Rossi, he's ahead of that blue and white car of Joseph Newgarden, and Sato now is off in the beach.
I saw Dixon getting by his teammate Felix Rosenqvist, let him go by. Sato gets out of the gravel, no yellow.
These guys have 200 seconds of push to pass to use during the race, and this adds close to 50 horsepower on the straights or at any point on the track. And there you see seconds remaining. The guy that's been most liberal with the use of the top 6 there is Rosenqvist. He's already used 17 seconds. Meanwhile, Newgarden hasn't touched it once.
Power got the jump into corner number 1. We all wondered, how would everyone approach that? Safe to say, Power has nothing to lose. He's not thinking championship. Wins all that matter. Rossi, Newgarden, Pagenaud think the championship. How much do you think they wanted to test him into that first turn?
Well, I think it was huge for Power to get through turn 1 cleanly without any pressure. He did a brilliant job, kind of jumped at the start, timed it perfectly. Now he can settle in and do what he did yesterday to qualify on pole, which is just lay down.
Here are your tires, +7. Good work.
Faster laps than anybody. As you hear Roger Penske come on the radio and remind him, just take care of the tires. Nice and calm is what I would be doing to Coach Power today.
He really wants to get him by the time they get to turn 4, but he may be too far back.
Bourdais spun up in the keyhole, continues. Wonder if he had help or if that was on his own.
Let's look at it again as it stays green.
Definitely got help.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky it didn't take Colton Herr's front wing off because they made contact across the front wing and it sent Bourdais around at a 360 and kept going.
Three-stop strategy requires hot pace, full push. They need to get by, and Newgarden's got trouble now from his teammate. What will Pagenaud do?
And how much of a fight will Hendrick put up? He will let Newgarden go by. A little tougher for Pagenaud, but he's also clean.
Late move from Pagenaud, but Kanaan saw it coming and wisely left the door open to avoid the contact, knowing that they're on different strategies.
And here's the pass on the outside. Strong move, Townsend.
This is for the lead. Rosenqvist going to the outside of Will Power. And again, Rosenqvist on the blacks. Power trying to hang on the reds. But don't worry, later in the race, Rosenqvist and Scott Dixon there are going to have to go to that softer red tire and try to make that work.
You're watching that background for Scott Dixon. They take a lot of weight out of the four. And man, it's neck and neck as they leave the pits, and they leave in the same order. Will Power keeps that. Remember, Will Power is not as happy with his car on the blacks. Now we have a switch of compound. This is good stuff.
I think he's in the danger zone.
I don't know, though. Rob Edwards, one of the smartest guys on pit lane. I don't think they would have brought Rossi to the pits if they didn't think he could make it. And here comes Scott Dixon.
Here we go.
Oh, that was
Almost touches
close.
wheels. He stays on the rear wing as long as he can to try to draft. Power will not let him by this time. And now into the switchback and try to grow around the outside of turn one. They touch. Dixon almost goes off. Power maintains the position.
We had such a perfect shot of this from the helicopter. We ride above with Scott Dixon. He's going to go to the outside. Power's going to run the middle of the track and kind of push him wide. Look at how far Power is off the apex. Dixon does the over-under, comes to the outside. Power now is going to muscle him, elbows out, and pushes him off to the curb.
Big run again. He's got the draft early this time. Will Power, he's protecting right away. Does he have enough speed? Oh, over-under.
The shake and bake.
To the inside. Dixon. This time will make it stick. Dixon picks up the position. Joseph Newgarden is coming towards you, Jan.
Yes, and well within the window of this three-stop strategy. We're going to watch the blend to see what happens with the two-stoppers like Alexander Rossi. So he goes with the blacks here. He's going on to take quite a bit of the Speedway fuel. He's looking, wait, there's a problem with the fuel. He's looking back. There's not fuel flow for Joseph Newgarden. Oh, my goodness, is this a championship slipping away in the pits?
Nice pass by Felix Rosenquist, Kevin Lee.
Oh, very impressive. Side by side through 2 or 3 corners where you normally can't do that. He got it done.
Rosenquist tires were about 15 laps fresher. He knew that this was his opportunity to make something happen. Brilliant job racing side by side with one of the fastest drivers in the business.
Nice job. Car in front of you, Kanan, just came out of the pits.
And push to pass is getting awfully important at this point for Rosenquist. Only 15 seconds left. Still with 35 laps to go to finish this. And he's got a 7-second gap, though, to his teammate and 20 seconds to the next car he really has to worry about with Ryan Hunter-Reay. So they can literally tell him to just chill a second a lap effectively and coast to the finish. But there's a whole lot to play for further back as this battle's getting fierce.
Yeah, the youngest pole winner in IndyCar history. We thought he might contend for the pole, being quick in practice all week. Started 7th. Oh, nice. Rossi drops tires.
Pagenaud now getting even closer. Does he make a move? Does he pop out?
Rossi used push to pass, so did Pagenaud. Pagenaud only 7 seconds left now as Pagenaud wiggles and runs wide. That's going to give Piggott and Herta a real chance on this next lap.
5 laps to go. The lap cars are on the push to pass, trying to get their lap back.
Keep in mind, this is one of the legends in motorsports. Scott Dixon has won 5 championships. Only A.J. Foyt has more. Only Foyt and Mario Andretti have more wins. It looked like he had this one in the bag and wrapped up. Can he hang on? Can he make the tires last? Or will his rookie teammate Felix Rosenquist win for the first time lap traffic right in front of that green and black car?
2 seconds behind. He's closing at 2 seconds a lap, and there he is on the back of the train.
Dixon's last lap of 1:11. What are you doing, Rosenquist? Don't hit a car.
Don't throw away that podium.
You got this, Felix. Remember, it's your teammate.